Hello everyone, I'm Big Red on behalf of Metal Threshold Radio saying wake up metalheads. It's February 21st, 2012. We are recording here at the Shower Center in Kent, Washington, where Megadeth is headlining Gigantour. My guest today is one of the original members and currently the bass player for Megadeth. My guest, please help me welcome Dave Ellefson.
What's going on?
Thanks for taking time out of your busy schedule to chat with us. Anyways, first of all, how's the tour going?
Good. We're doing good, man. We just came out of Canada last night, and we just finished up, I don't know, I guess we're about 4 weeks into this right now. We've got about 2 weeks left, so yeah, it's really going well. It's been a good run.
Wow. That's really interesting. I mean, you get to travel all over the world, meet so many different people. Now, back in the day when you originally started out, I mean, you must have been a bachelor at the time. Now,
pretty much have to be.
Oh, okay.
No sane woman would ever let you go do this.
Okay. My question for those that are trying to break into the music business and just starting out, one question I have to know: how does it affect you on the road as far as being a bachelor and transcending to a family man? How does that affect your focus overall when you're out on the road or when you're in the studio recording?
Well, I think, you need to start this usually when you're young, especially in rock and roll. Maybe other types of music, there isn't sort of an age cap on it. You know what I mean? In Megadeth, we started, I was 18, I met Dave, he was 21, we started Megadeth. And because we had success, that was able to carry us through. I mean, a lot of fans seem to like Megadeth, and that allowed us to be able to, buy a home and have a car and kind of live a somewhat, normal life of sorts off the stage, And, now as far as, the bachelor to family man thing is, first I recommend you get a wife before you start a family. Right?
Yeah, of course.
Right? I mean, would be the logical succession of that. So, I mean, that's just like anybody else, and it's hard when you're traveling, I don't care whether you're a traveling salesman or you're a rock and roll musician or whatever you are, being away from home and trying to maintain, connectivity with your relationships is difficult, You and I were talking before the interview started about how technology and iPhones and all these different things or, whatever, it can be as much of a distraction as it can be an enhancement, But you just have to go the extra step, So, my kids are teenagers now, and fortunately, the way Megadeth tours now, when we're out, we hit it hard. But then when we're home, So we get a nice break, and so sometimes it's the decompression off the road when you have to enter the atmosphere of sort of civilian life, Because this is a little bit of a fantasy land bubble out here, you know what I mean? But I think the fact that we know that, we can sort of maintain it.
Okay. Now, all right. You started Megadeth back in '83.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay, from '83 to 2002, and then you had the disarray. You split. You went your own way. You had success outside of Megadeth. I must say, I'm impressed. I mean, you've done so much work with other bands as well, and then you managed to patch things up with the other main stage member, Dave Ellefson. And now, how's it from when you were before in Megadeth before? I mean, is it same old? Is it picked up where you left off, or or is it something new, something different? Did you have to take a while to get back in the rhythm, or just fall back in the sync? Please tell me what's going on.
Yes, all the above. It's kind of what it was. It was, some of it's obviously life moves on, and so for Dave and I to get back on the stage again after some years apart. It was a new friendship, quite honestly. That's how I like to look at it, And because there was a friendship there, the band thing we know how to do. We know how to walk on stage and play the songs. Both of us, I think, are playing, extremely well these days. Most of all, I think for me, for sure, it was my passion to want to come back and do this for the fans. I enjoyed playing a lot of different music. I enjoyed playing with a variety of different people. I think that as a musician keeps your chops up. One of the things you really have to be careful of when you're in a band that tours and works as much as Megadeth does is you're always working with the same guys, playing the same songs, which makes the performance fantastic. Because there's really it's like in a sports team plays together, you learn how each other plays, and that's what makes a team become a championship team. And it's the same thing in a rock and roll band. But at the same time, in some my times when I'm away from Megadeth, you know, even at home, I'll play acoustic guitar, I'll play my piano, I'll listen to other kinds of music. I'll do things that are very musically different from Megadeth. It keeps me fresh, keeps my chops up. Sight reading, doing other types of musical activities that then and even lyric writing, you know, I'll do different things, and so that when I come back and play Megadeth music again and we ramp up for the tour, it's exciting still.
Yeah. Okay, I must admit, I love acoustics. Grew up listening to acoustics as well. Especially when my grandmother was performing at bars and whatnot, you know, they'd be doing acoustics. I guess where I'm going with this is there any chance that Megadeth is going to do an acoustic performance at any time?
We just did one, actually. We did one about 2 weeks ago in the Detroit area for the radio station there, WRIF. Have been big supporters of ours, and that's the first acoustic show that you know, again, I don't know what the band did in that time that I was away from it, but since I've been back, it was the first one we've done. And I tell you, years ago, back in I think 2001, we had been doing quite a few of these. The first one we did was in Japan, a big venue in Yokohama, Japan, south of Tokyo. We went out and we played acoustic, and it was so cool. And then right after that tour, we went to South America, and the Argentinian fans are just mucho gusto. Big supporters for Megadeth, and so we played acoustic live on a national radio broadcast for Argentina, and I mean the whole thing just spread like wildfire. So everybody, all of a sudden, there's huge demand for Megadeth to play acoustic, because to see these like ripping thrash metal tunes broken down into this acoustic temperament was really an interesting dynamic, and we're blessed we have those kind of songs that we're able to do that, you know. So there was a period of the band, the late 90s into 2001, where we played acoustic all the time. It was really, really cool. So now that we've done it again, just a couple weeks ago, all of a sudden the interest is back up. People are like, oh my gosh, how can we get Megadeth to play acoustic? So there will probably be some more, because they are a lot of fun. And we get to play some other songs that we don't normally play live on the big stage when it's, you know, the big rock and roll show.
Is there any chance you're going to put out an acoustic album?
Well, there's a ton of bootlegs out there. We haven't actually done an official one, but it's funny, all around the world there's a lot of, you know, Megadeth acoustic EPs and things that fans put together.
That's amazing. Okay. I've noticed that between you and Dave Mustaine, or as far as overall in the band, different personalities, different egos, so to say. How does that affect your overall performance, whether you're out and about touring or you're in the studio recording? Is there a bit of conflict that kind of throws things off, or does that make you want to work even harder to make things mesh?
Artistic people tend to have, you know, some people call it ego, for lack of a better description, you know. But there's certainly a temperance or a nuance about dealing with artistic people, you know what I mean? And it's just, you know, it's part of the game, it's part of how it is, and I think that's what makes either you work well with certain people or you don't, you know, and I think that in a band setting you kind of get to know each other, you know the things that work well, you know things that don't, and I think probably for Dave and I, that's the lessons that we've come to know the things that really work well, and we don't go near the things that, after almost 30 years doing this together, you know, 3 decades of Megadeth, that we realize there's some things that say, let's just not even go near that anymore, because we know that those things generally don't work out very well.
Okay. Now, I've noticed that you have an online app, or on-demand app on the internet to help people learn how to play, whether it be guitar, bass, or different various types of instruments or different aspects of music. Now, is it to help others figure out their own creativity and learn how to play, or is it more to sound like you?
Yeah, I think you're referring to the Rock Shop Method app.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's exactly what that's for. I did a couple of metal-based DVDs for them, Volume 1 and Volume 2, for both beginner and intermediate and advanced levels. And that's really what that is it's sort of a way through that mechanism to be plugged into the rock house community, because they got a lot of great teachers, a lot of other well-known rock and roll and metal musicians do a lot of teaching and have done instructional videos over there. So I think that kind of stuff is cool. I did the Dave Ellefson Rock Shop YouTube video series, which was spun out of my book that I did, the Making Music Your Business book. Because people were asking me, man, would you write another, sort of a volume 2 of the book? And I was like, just trying to find the time to do it, quite honestly. And so I just thought, just film some stuff, I'll pop it up on YouTube, and hopefully it's helpful to the fans and for other musicians that are looking to get some direction or maybe have some questions.
Okay. Yeah, can you tell us about the bass guitars you're going to be working with today? While you're on stage?
Today, all Jackson guitars, Jackson basses, and it's kind of cool. I've got a new partnership with them. I played their instruments years ago, and now we're under new ownership through the Fender Musical Instrument Corporation. So, and Fender's got just a fantastic custom shop over in Corona, down in Corona, California. And that's where the instruments I'm playing tonight are built. I've got a signature series from them under the custom shop, and now just actually right now as we speak, a whole new line of the import series are coming out, which are far less money, far more affordable for most of my fans and most people who are going to go out and buy an instrument. And so those, so they're the Dave Ellefson signature concert bass is the family of basses that they're from. And then also have this new one that we designed called the Kelly Bird. Jackson makes a bass called a guitar called the Kelly. So we took the horn of that instrument, which is kind of an identifiable piece of that instrument, and we put that onto a bass similar to what I played back in the Countdown to Extinction tour back in 92, 93. We sort of hybrided and put a bass together that were the working title, and it's the Kelly Bird, so I'll be playing with those things.
Wow. Impressive. Okay, now, so is Jackson your favorite overall bass guitar to work with?
They are. I mean, especially for the Megadeth stuff, it's fantastic. I mean, it just has it sits in the pocket of the band so good. They're made well. They're really a great, ripping, fast thrash metal bass. They have a great tone. Now I was able to bring some of the way the instruments are made now versus the ones I was playing 20 years ago. There's a big difference. The quality of the woods, the manufacturing processes, the electronics that are in them. There's a lot of things that are really, so we try to just pull the best of all the components, the woods, the manufacturing style that they use, and it's definitely very much a Jackson. It's just a Jackson on steroids in a new day. Hey, they're calling at me. I got to go meet some fans at the VIP meeting.
Real quick, can you tell us about your book? Now, I understand this is the Unsung. Yep. You're an author and a publisher on this.
Yeah.
Now, is it okay? From what I've read so far, it's some works that you never put out yet.
Yeah, basically, there's lyrics that I wrote, and some of them are definitely lyrics that could very much fit right into music. Some of them are almost kind of poetic type lyrics. It's called Unsung Words and Images. And what I did is, usually I take lyrics and I put them to music. In this case, I took the lyrics and I'm working with an editor in London and a photographer in Italy with these fantastic photographs that are very just inquisitive and very storytelling photographs. So it's almost like the photographs mirror what my lyrics say.
So basically, this is all about your works.
Exactly.
That now, is this the works that you have not been able to put out as far as on albums?
Yeah, I just have, and sometimes I'll just sit around and a lyric idea will come to me and I'll just write the lyric down. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of a cool lyric, And for whatever reason, it hasn't found a home in a song, or a lot of these I haven't even tried to put them to music yet. So the idea of to put them to photograph images, and I'm self-publishing it. It's going to be, I think we might actually have it available starting next week. So everybody who might be thinking about it, come to davidellefson.com, which is my website. And also on Facebook, there's an Unsung, I think it's Unsung David Ellefson. It's the Facebook URL for it. We'll be putting some press releases out probably in the next couple of days.
Okay. I just have to come up.
Okay, they're going to probably yank me out. So I got to go. And you don't want the meat handlers to be mad.
Okay, first of all, I noticed that from what I saw on Wikipedia that you were born in Jackson, Minnesota. Okay, you ever make your way over to the Twin Forks area? Duluth, Minnesota, Superior, Wisconsin?
Not so much. We just played in Minneapolis the other day, about a week ago, and I actually drove down to see my mother and my brother who still live in Jackson, Minnesota. And I've been up in Duluth a few times over the years as a kid, and then even recently, like now 10, maybe almost 15 years ago.
Yeah, because that's where I was born.
Oh, nice.
Minnesota, Pittsburgh.
Nice.
Okay. Now my next question.
The iron ore range.
Okay. I guess my final question at the moment here is, in your mind, if it came down to a show-off or contest between you and Dave Ellefson, who is the overall better musician? Who do you think?
We're two very different musicians, quite honestly. I mean, first of all, he plays guitar, I play bass, right? And you know, I wouldn't put it up to a contest. I don't. First of all, there wouldn't be, you know, because he and I complement each other and work together as a team. We're not competitors; we're team members. Yeah, but you know what? Look at it like this. It's like asking the center of a basketball team to compete against the forward. They're two very different positions, and they're two different heights. They're two different mechanisms. They're meant to do two entirely different things on the team. So where Dave thrives and I may be weaker is why we work together. Where I'm stronger and may be able to help fill in where Dave's is not accentuated as much, and that's what makes a team, and that's what makes a band, right? I don't play guitar, I don't play drums, I play the bass. I have my position in the team, so that's why everybody has to have their own special place, and when everybody comes together, that's what makes it such a strong band. And that's why, as kids, we grew up loving rock bands, because they represented an identity and a culture.
All right, Dave. Really appreciate you taking time to speak with us.
Awesome, good to chat with you. Yep.
Thank you. Good luck on your performance. We look forward to seeing you.
Thank you.
You gonna be doing a solo still?
Bass solo. Depends on what songs we play. A lot of Megadeth songs have bass solos.
I look forward to seeing you.
All right, man. See ya. All right, you guys. Cheers.